Hey guys, welcome to a special video because
You're not special enough.
no, you're not special enough. But basically, not so long ago, the seventh generation of video games ended, or video game console, I should say, with the 3DS. And ironically, it started in 2004. Don't quote me on that. With the original DS. So everyone.
Yeah.
So what? I've got two guests here with me. Guests, say hi, guests.
Quote unquote guests. Hi, it's me,
Jolly
Nathan.
good day and all past chip. I'm not gonna answer for this anymore.
So we've got Welshie
Nathan.
and Wolfie in this.
Nathan.
Or let's put it bluntly, Fucus and Mr. Trico.
Oh, I'm bimodal metal 16.
Okay, thank you. Oh god. So yeah, I guess we just should we start with talk about the DS because the DS is pretty cool.
We should. It's only right. You kind of
Say
started
the
everything
word
off.
and it's bear time. Sorry.
Anyway,
Fucking-
with the DS, when the I really annoyed at the DSi XL, but we'll go on to the DSi. I mean, the XL was kind of cool, but
What was the what makes the XL cool?
it was big.
It was big.
It was big.
It was nice to play games on it. It was looked kind of cool, but it was. Go on.
The thing about the DS XL, the only thing it was really good for was the Footnote Studio. That
Nah.
was really it. I'm not gonna pay like an extra. I mean, the DSi was different because it got like had new features, but that was just basically a big DSi.
Yeah, but let's be
No, we're talking about the
let's be blunt. The DSi just added DSiWare, which had no good games.
That is true.
Like anyway, the DS though, that was a massive hit. It's the second best-selling video game system of all time.
Oh, PS2. Why
Of course.
must you?
Because
The
this doesn't have a
video-
DVD player in. If this had a DVD player in it, then it would be. That's what helped sell the
What?
PS2. Oh, let's be blunt. Anyway, we're not talking about the PS2. That's last generation.
Damn.
They released the DS Lite, which was actually the most necessary update to a console ever. Well, questionably, because the DS had some stupid problems with not being able to see. Like when it was the screen wasn't backlit, to put it bluntly. And
It was actually.
was it? Well, it didn't.
Yeah, I have original DS with me now. It does. You can turn it off. It just wasn't really that bright.
Oh
Like the
well,
DS
it wasn't
Lite.
bright enough then. There you go. The
It
DS
wasn't
Lite
actually
is
that bad when it came to brightness. I compared it to a. What the fuck?
just carry on.
What just happened?
David's
died.
mum walks in.
So what are we doing now?
We're carrying on. We're carrying on.
We're carrying on, even
Leave-
though David's dead.
Yep.
Okay. Okay. All right then.
Also, but the DSi did something else that really pissed me off, which was the taking away the Game Boy thing. And now
That
they're
is-
charging
that
you for
pissed
Game
me
Boy
off,
games.
too. I really did piss me off a lot.
I was
and-
like, why did
and
you
that's
do
kinda-
that? There's no good reason to do that.
Yeah, and especially it made some DS games unplayable. But again, why would you want to play Guitar Hero on the DS?
Oh god. Like, it's not a game you want to play like that. It's just a bad idea. Whoever came up was
Yeah.
like, it was just released on the DS for the
It
sake of
was.
being released on the DS.
It was like, we need some more money. Let's go to the DS. But how
The
are we
DS
gonna play
is-
Guitar Hero on the DS? Well, kind of a crappy idea.
Ah, yeah, can't fail. So, Gavin, talk about, tell everyone some of your favorite games on the DS. Just,
Obviously, stuff like Chrono Trigger. Oh, Kami didn't even know that came out really late.
Yeah,
Pokemon
it
Black,
did.
Actually,
Pokemon Black made Pokemon really cool. Again, I didn't like
playing
fourth
that.
gen.
It was too different, but I think it was just something that it made the game feel actually different. Unlike
Yeah,
other games.
I mean,
Go out there, go get some Pokemons, go complete this Death Runner.
yeah, I mean,
This
the
was,
team,
actually-
the enemy team was actually interesting.
yeah, they were interesting. They actually were great. I'm like, Team Galactic, they kind of did it, except, I mean, Cyrus was a dick, but like Team Galactic wasn't. They didn't really do anything. They were like, they were just all talk, and you really just stopped them before they could.
Yeah.
Team Rocket was just weren't really that threatening. They're just gangsters, and Team Magma and Aqua, they got close, but they weren't as no team was threatening as Team Plasma. They actually did what they said.
Team Plasma actually had motives.
Yeah, they did.
I mean, Team Aqua and Magma kind of did, but they're the
They
most
kind of
poor
did.
motives ever. I like water. I
I was
like
like, wow.
land.
Oh, like water. They were bad though. For an attempt of making a dual team thing, it wasn't bad, but it could
Yeah.
have done a lot better though.
Oh yeah, but it was good. I thought Pokemon started to get dull at fourth gen. Though I'm not a fan of Diamond and Pearl, but Black and White really brought it back home for me.
There's never a time where I was like, I'm not a big fan of it, but if there anything, I will agree. Fourth gen kind of felt a little slow.
Yeah,
Yes. Especially,
My favorite DS game in terms of Pokemon has to be Heart Gold.
oh, that is really good. Yeah.
So many
I kind of
memories, and
kind of sad that they took away the Pokemon walking
I
thing.
know I loved that. That was just like one of the coolest features.
Also, I remember when Diamond and Pearl came out. I kind of will agree. That's kind of when the series kind of got a little bit weaker,
Yeah,
even though it had like the Wi-Fi and stuff, because Emerald had all this contact that Diamond and Pearl still didn't have. Like Emerald had the Battle Frontier and all that stuff, but Diamond and Pearl didn't include that. Platinum
yeah,
is like when 4th gen really picks up, though.
yeah. There was a lot of balance problems with Diamond and Pearl as well, though. It was ridiculous. I mean, I think there was what there was five fire Pokemon: Ponyta, Rapidash, and the
The starter.
yeah, that was it.
Now you gotta point that is true besides legendaries. So
Yeah, besides legendaries. And you just think they obviously fixed all of that kind of stuff in
yeah, they fixed it all in Platinum.
and to prove the point that there weren't even enough certain types, electric types, no one was weak. The freaking gym leader had to resort to using a
Yeah, there
water
was a
and
lot of
normal
cheats.
type.
Yeah, there was even like I just love that. Like the
Ugh.
seventh and the eighth gym, they just didn't have their types. They just had Pokemon that knew their type moves.
Yeah,
They're
it
lacking
was.
so much. It was like they just got lazy. Like we could have put in more, but nah, we're good enough. They could have
Yeah,
made more original Pokemon, but nah, we're good enough. Platinum really did fix that though.
I mean, making a new game seems like a lot of work.
Yeah, I mean we already got this semi good.
Gentlemen, may I first apologize for my little
David's
absence?
back.
Poor
We're in the middle of
girl.
talking about Pokemon. Carry on, Gavin.
I mean,
Yes.
anyways, like, they got lazy with Diamond Pearl. I think Platinum is what Diamond Pearl should have been.
Oh
In many
yeah,
ways.
they really should have been. I mean,
Wait, what? How did what did they improve upon with Platinum? I forget.
balance
They
issues.
added like balance issues.
Look up the
Like, in other
Pokemon you
words,
can
we were
get.
talking about how there's like no fire types in Diamond Pearl.
And no electric
stuff like
types.
that.
Really?
It's-
There were
yeah.
none.
There was
There were a
couple,
few, but not as many.
yeah.
And
That
another game that really goes unappreciated on the DS that I'm sure Dave will appreciate that I'm giving a shout out to is we're still on Pokemon, of course. Pokemon Mystery Dungeons: Explorers of Time.
yeah,
I love that game.
I love Time. I love Sky. It's just I don't understand. I don't understand why it went under the radar. It's a pretty good concept. The story is.
Better
really-
than Ranger. What?
I don't like Pokemon Ranger. I'm gonna admit that the stupid circling. I've played Ranger 1 and I played a bit of Ranger 2. I don't really like them that much.
I beat Ranger 1. I kind of found it fun, but it just got
Ranger
dull
1
by the end. I was like, please
Yeah, I
stop.
didn't like Ranger. It got really repetitive.
Yeah.
Ranger 2 wasn't as much. I can say it was a little better because they had side quests and stuff. At least it
They
wasn't
had
just
side
always
quests, and there
circling.
was that whole sort of collecting like partners thing that kind of spiced it up a bit.
Yeah, it spiced it up a bit. I
It
mean, a
still
little
wasn't
bit.
anything that good, though, in all honesty.
Yeah.
But the
I
I
mission.
say the same about Pokemon, but I don't know. Pokemon just doesn't get boring.
Yeah.
Yeah, Pokemon
It's
isn't that-
but like with a turn-based combat system, there's infinite possibilities for teams. In that game, you could only keep your Pokemon for so long, and in the first one, you only had Pichu for like not Pichu.
Not only
Mining.
that, especially in the first one, it was so
Mining.
repetitive. To
Yeah,
test Pokemon, it was just because if you didn't circle it all in one go, which is really hard, it was just you're screwed.
yeah.
Like
It was,
the
it's-
one,
I remember having so much problem with the Steelix boss. But yeah, back to Mystery Dungeons. Mystery Dungeons is a fun dungeon crawling type game. Obviously based off the name the game Mystery Dungeon. Yeah, but
I
which
won't
I
admit,
told
Mystery
about.
Dungeon is probably one of my more favorite games for DS.
Yeah.
It really was. It to me at the time, it really was like the only thing Pokemon had to a story until Black and White.
oh yeah, it was actually a
And
really
it's still
interesting
got the
story.
best story in the games.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
White had a
Pokemon
good
Red
story,
didn't
but-
do the story that good. I mean, it was okay, but there really was no antagonist. It really wasn't going anywhere. It was like, you're here. Why? Nobody knows. That was really it. Or Dungeon
Wait,
2
what?
kind of had a little more of an antagonist.
yeah.
I did basically
No.
Dungeons Blue and Red did better.
I mean, the game did Amnesia pretty well. I
Oh
think
yeah,
is the thing to say.
Yeah, me too. I do agree on that, especially in the sequel.
yeah. It's a game that actually got a lot better with the. I mean, the first game is really good. No, I still play it now at times, but the
Yeah,
second
me
one just
too.
improved on it in like almost every way.
Even graphics.
Yeah,
I hate to say that, but it's just that there's some of the Pokemon that are oddly colored in Pokemon Red and Blue, like, and it's just they fixed that. Like, basically, I know it's a weird picky thing to go on, but there are a lot of Pokemon Red and Blue that in the Mystery Dungeon Red and Blue that are just like weirdly oddly colored. They're not supposed to be colored that way. It's not like they're shiny either. Like
yeah, I know.
they
It's
fixed
just
that
odd.
problem. It's I don't know. It's a weird thing.
They had a shiny Celebi in the second one,
Yeah,
didn't they?
but I don't think you can befriend that actually, unless
That's
you had
odd.
time. Even then, I don't think you can.
The one
I
problems
had
I did
time.
have
Do
with
you wanna know
Mystery
why
Dungeon.
I had time? Because time is better.
Yeah,
The
time
one.
is a lot better in darkness.
Yeah, I also have time. I just got it
I
because
used to have time, and then I lost it somewhere. I wish I still had it though.
I
It is
haven't
probably
actually
the best
played
game to me.
Sky. I really want to try. Like.
I've tried out Sky. It's pretty good. I've seen it. They added. It's basically like what Platinum was to Diamond
Yeah.
and Pearl. It made it a lot better. And in some ways, it actually is a sequel, but you have to beat the game first, which is just kind of annoying. 'Cause it's like they give you a sequel, but they make you play through the first game all over again, which I don't
That's
understand.
a little bit annoying.
Yeah, it's like a little bit
That's
annoying, but I haven't really played the full thing. But it's still it wasn't like Mystery Dungeon Time of Darkness was annoying in the first place. It was
No.
still fun dungeon crawler. So if you're
Yeah.
playing it isn't that big of a deal because it kind of goes. It's kind of a little bit nostalgic,
Yeah.
so
yeah.
it's not like horrible. It's not like you're playing through Repetitive Ranger where you're gonna keep circling. It's like
Oh,
go
God.
get these Pokemon by drawing a bunch of circles.
That's the premises behind every good game, though. Stop.
Obviously, just draw circles. But like
Just draw.
another game on
Yeah.
the DS that I thought was really good that people like gave a lot of hate for no reason was Scribblenauts.
Actually,
That was a good game, but it just had some.
The controls
off
were a bit
controls.
annoying, but honestly,
Yeah,
I lived for it.
No, because they were fun controls. Well, not controls, but it was a fun game, and it had
Exactly.
some very challenging moments. Like, remember when I was playing it in a call, and I forget what it was. Like, oh yeah, the whole answer thing.
Yeah,
It's like, write the answer. That was a very clever puzzle, if you ask me.
yeah, that was a pretty funny way to end it. But
Super Scribblenauts was a lot better though. I don't know.
I
if
haven't
people-
played it yet.
I've seen
You
it.
got to like have emotions and shit in there, so,
That's
like
cool.
angry people. Or
Yeah,
calm.
yeah, it made you think a little bit more than what Scribblenauts did, which
Yeah,
is really good. I do like that a lot.
Like you could have a red cape for a bull or something. I've never actually got it, but that's the sort of thing I would expect from the game, if you know what I mean.
yeah, it was pretty good. But I think we'll go through the consoles in the order they sold, like the DS being the most and the PS3 being the least.
PS3.
PS3 sold the least because, well,
I mean, I know
who
it's
wants
the
a
least,
Blu-ray?
but I didn't. Oh yeah, it is. It is technically in this kind of in this generation range.
Yeah.
So I think about it. Because it's not like I don't think the PS3 is. It just kind of feels kind of weird when you say that because there is no PS4 confirmed yet or Xbox.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but there's still, you know,
They're still doing it now, but it kind of just feels weird because there's still games coming out for PS3, Xbox. You know the thing I never got. I know this is kind of a little off on a tangent, but they're still selling PS2 games. It just
yeah, I
what's the
know.
point?
Movie games, aren't they? But
Yeah,
it was-
mainly.
Yeah, but still, it's pretty
It's just like-
impressive.
I mean, I can understand. It's just because some people can't buy a PS3, but it's just like, then go get a Wii. It's just, I don't really
Yeah.
see. There's not really anything. There's nothing critical they're selling for PS2 anymore. I mean, it wasn't back then when they're selling like 10 and my favorite 12.
And let's be honest.
12 is the best.
Let's
No,
not
I
talk
won't
about
get
that
that.
anymore. That doesn't
Yeah,
deserve
let's
to.
not talk about it.
Because A, this is not from this generation, and B, you smell.
Yes. I do
but
not.
the
Can we,
Oh,
before we leave the DS, can I give a shout out to a very good game that no one will ever give a chance?
sure,
Freshly picked, Tingle's Rosy Ruby Land.
David, leave the call.
No. It's a good
Tingle is a
game.
creepy murderer.
Thank you.
Exactly. No, he may be a murderer.
He
He's
is.
still a great character.
No, he's not.
He's a funny character to begin with, and that game is actually very good. And And hating on a game just because a character's face has been slapped on it is kind of retarded.
You know, I will admit something right now.
Go on.
Tinkle's Rosie Rupee Land isn't really that bad. I've seen it. It is kind of comical. It's kind of funny in a way.
It's a bit
But
tongue in cheek from what I've seen.
yeah, it's just the thing is, I doesn't really. I can't. You can't really put it. It's like an RPG. It's not. I don't know what you would
The
put it
genre
called.
problem it suffers.
No, I'm
And
sure it's
not only
good, but
that,
I'll always insult anything with Tingle in it.
me too.
I actually
Sadly,
quite
I'm-
enjoy Tingle as a character, so
Have
I'm
fun
just
with
going
that.
to stand by this.
the
Well,
combat
that's-
system is just dull. Tap the screen. Tap the screen.
It's a
the
tactical
DS,
combat.
the DS was much like the Wii, where it has some really crappy gimmick games.
Yep.
Oh,
Oh,
Jesus.
don't remind me.
No one wants to, no one wants to remember that now. I mean,
Oh.
really. Gimmicks just not fun. Like the remote, we'll go on to the Wii a bit later, because, you know, there's one thing I must say, you know, we'll go on the PSP next. This has been probably one of the best generations for handheld gaming. If
I
not
will agree
the,
on that, actually.
because, I mean, you know, the DS was really good. There's so many good games in there. There's like an infinite amount, you know.
Like, actually, a couple now I think that we didn't mention yet, but
Oh yeah, there's loads we didn't mention. Just to name one off the top of my head, Golden Sun Dark Dawn was a really good RPG.
yeah,
That
I need to play Golden Sun Dark too. There's also the Chrono Trigger remake, which was
Yeah.
really good.
oh yeah, it was a
Final
remake of
Fantasy
Chrono
III
Trigger.
remake. I know it's kind of weird to say that, but we never got Final Fantasy 3 until the DS, so and the added
but
graphics and
but
everything they added to it was really good though.
but Final Fantasy 3 was not so good in itself.
I mean, it wasn't perfect, but it still was. I think it's probably one of my more favorite games out of the series, though.
Really? 3 was my
Yeah,
least favorite personally. Personally,
Wait, three or wait, what?
3.
Oh, three. Okay, because I thought you were talking about something else. Because I actually did like it. They gave you a lot of customization. It's just the only thing I didn't like is just the classes. Like the older classes got really weak really fast.
Well, no,
and
no. The problem
lack of,
was
like,
right
weaknesses.
was the fact that the game had a class system where it made you change class, but punished you for using it. You'd
Yeah,
lose
that is the
stats
problem.
each time, and I was like, why? What? Like, honestly, it
That
would be
is
a
just kind
better
of
game
annoying
if they
until you
took
get
that
used
out.
to it. The NES version actually did a lot better, where like you had like some points, or if you didn't change your class for a while, you lose that stats gain. But in the DS version, they made it so if you immediately switched your class, you just got punished for it for a couple of battles.
But yet, the thing is, the game almost forced you to switch class for some of the fights.
Yeah, that is true.
It
It
was-
was like it was basically like here are all these classes. You switch, you get punished a bit, but you have to do it to beat the game. It's just like it makes you wonder what went wrong.
Yeah, I mean, someone at Square know what they're talking about now, but someone at Square must be, hang on a second, guys. This isn't such a good idea. But anyway, any last words for the DS, everyone?
That's nothing else I can really think of.
Great way to start off a generation, if you ask me.
Let me just think for a second, because I'm pretty sure there's a lot. I think there's a couple stuff. Actually, I think it's kind of funny now. I think that at the DS, a lot of people say Zelda games that were on the DS were the worst. In the
I
series.
didn't like them. I really didn't.
I can see how people can say Phantom Hourglass is bad, but I still
Mhm.
think Spirit Tracks was a lot better.
I
than-
haven't played Spirit Tracks, to be fair.
Spirit Tracks was a lot better. A lot of people can bitch about because there was trains in the game. It was like,
trains.
a lot of people just said that the train part of the game was annoying. It's just I can understand the train was slow, but it was like that's not a reason why to hate the game.
Yeah, I mean, every game has bad parts, right? You
Yeah,
you can
I
sort
mean
of
the
forgive
train
it.
isn't like no people just hate it because they added a train in general. It wasn't like oh because I will admit the train was really slow and the upgrades to it wasn't really as good as the stuff in Phantom Hourglass. So they kind of did rip you off there.
Yeah,
But for what the game was, the story is pretty good. The controls outside of the train are really good. And
Yeah.
another gem I would like to give a shout out to. I don't think a lot of people know about this game. It's actually a game called Drawn to Life, and I know it's a weird. It's something I don't think I hear a lot of people talk about. It's a really good. It actually is a really good DS game, spawning a sequel called Drawn to Life 2. What is it? Next chapter. they're both really good games though. The story is really great, and it's kind of like it's customization. But the character, it's kind of funny for a game you can really customize it. The story is really engrossing, and there's a lot of characters that you kind of just feel for, and it's just crazy. And
That's really
especially the
strange.
end of Drawn Life 2 is, I will say, it is probably one of the best endings for any game I've seen. It just wraps up the whole
Damn.
story. And they did make a spin-off for Drawn Life, and I will not talk about the spin-off. That is probably the worst idea for a spin-off for a game series ever. That was just, what were they thinking?
Oh god.
I will not talk about that spin-off. That spin-off will forever be the worst spin-off in
No one
game
will talk
series.
about it anymore. No one.
No, that spin-off was horrible.
Uh, so I think we're really done on the DS. I mean the DS. So last words for the DS is it's a really damn good console, and honestly, I'd recommend you pick one up if you've got the money, and you wanna, it's really good for RPG fans. I'd say that much at least.
Yeah.
Cause
That's all I can say. That really is.
yeah. So next, I reckon we should go on to the other handheld. Well, the other handheld console for this generation, which is the PSP.
Now,
Now,
to be fair, I've only played a couple PSP games. I don't own one myself, but I have played Daxter. I've played what else was it? Dissidia and Dissidia 12. So
Dissidia
those
is
are
a
the ones.
really damn cool game.
Yeah, a lot of people hate it for the controls, but I
I
don't think
love
the
it.
controls are as bad because a lot of people say the controls are horrible.
They're
I don't
fine.
agree with that.
I like the
They're fine.
I
Yeah, I
love
think
the
they're
way
fine too.
the game plays out. It's a really flashy fighter. You know, like when like those Saturday morning cartoons you put it where the fights were all jumpy and flashy. It's something that no one until this game has ever been able to emulate.
The only thing I really can complain about the game is the bravery idea, where it's like you hit your opponent instead of really like a health bar. If you hit your opponent enough, you really lose bravery, and then
Yeah,
once you lose all your bravery, you can't do sit,
it
and
was a
you're just
weird
left there to
thing,
die. That
but
is kind of
Yeah, it
weird.
was a weird thing that I wish I knew what you were talking about.
Oh, I didn't like the idea at all. I mean, why can't they go with normal health bars? So besides that, I think the
yeah,
game is pretty good. In
I
a lot of
enjoyed it.
ways, a lot of people can mimic. They say the controls are clunky, but I never really thought that when playing the game.
I never
What
felt
game are
that.
you on about?
Dissidia. And also, they released the best spin-off for the Kingdom Hearts series, Birth by Sleep. A
I've
spin-off
never
that
played Birth by Sleep or any Kingdom Hearts game, to be
it's
fair.
very good. It's honestly holds up as good as the earlier games. It's got a new way of customizing your skills, which I think worked really well. Like
And then there's the copy Heartless.
what?
What were they called again in that game?
Um, oh crap.
They're heart.
Yeah, the totally not heartless. Those different things that aren't heartless. Yeah, those enemies. The enemies were at least they looked different.
They looked a bit
They
different.
were
They
going
weren't
for
black.
something
They were
different.
blue.
Yeah, but no, they had different designs. Either way,
Yeah, obviously.
it was really fun. I mean, playing through the story as three different sides was cool, and the story was actually pretty engrossing. Cause
I
it
wish
was
I could comment on this,
Never
but I
played
can't
any
really say anything.
PSP games because, well, while I had one, just it didn't have a very good library when I had it.
it got a good library. Did you know the PSP sold pretty freaking well?
Yeah, dude.
It sold
Apparently so.
nearly 750,000. No, three-quarters of a
That's
billion. Three-quarters of nearly 75 million. There you go. Jesus. But then, okay, now Sony, we need to like have a little talk about this. They first released the PSP 1000, all good, and then they released the 2000, which was a
I
bit,
missed the rest of the DS chat. I feel
which
so sorry.
improved upon it, I guess. No, it did because the RAM was a lot stronger, and the PSP 3000 added in a video out, which was a really good idea if you ask me. So you can like play your PSP games on the TV. That's a really cool idea.
Yeah.
Then then they released the PSP Go. Perhaps the stupidest thing ever. Ever.
What exactly did it improve upon?
Had more storage.
had more
But you
storage.
know why it had more storage? Because every freaking game was downloadable. It was the stupidest idea on Sony's part. Why did you do this? It's discontinued, like, everywhere. They stopped making it and carried on making the PSP 3000. That's how like, it looked ugly, it was stupid. Like, you couldn't buy, you know the UMD system?
The what?
Not
Yeah.
really.
Gone. Every game was
It was.
downloadable. If you didn't have internet connection, nope. You couldn't get a thing. It was the stupidest idea ever.
But to be fair, a bit, I'm not
To
saying I
be
still
fa-
think.
No, just no.
Go,
I
no,
know
go
the
on, Gavin.
PS Go is retarded. I know. I said no, but it's just that who doesn't have an internet connection nowadays? But I
I
still
know.
think it's a really a
But
bad idea.
hypothetically, you know. And
I still
knowing,
will agree that was a horrible idea on Sony's part.
and you know when those miners were like stuck underground, they sent them
Yeah.
down PSPs. I would have been a troll and just sent them down the PSP Go.
Oh, sorry, dude. You can't play any games because you don't have any internet connection. Damn, how pissed off would you be if that
That would be so
turned that
troll,
out?
but pretty. But seriously, the PSP had some really good RPGs on there, much like the DS. A lot of them were, most of them were remakes. Like my most played PSP games, like Final Fantasy 1 and Final Fantasy 4, the complete collection. To be fair, the complete collection did have Interlude, which was never released before.
What was Interlude?
It was a little thing that fills the gaps between part 1 and part 2. Like,
Hmm.
1 in the after years. Or 4, I should say. But you know what I mean.
One and. Okay.
I played
And-
Final Fantasy 1 on the PSP. It is pretty good.
The Final Fantasy 1 makes no sense, though. It's just like, go to this place. Where is it?
The City of 12 actually kind of fills you in a little bit if you see the ending, which I've seen the ending for the City of 12, so it makes a little bit more sense. But
I
still,
must
like,
say, Dissidia had the stupidest story ever. The heroes must find crystals. Why?
Because.
Some goddess was like, go find the crystals.
Because.
Who plays
give us
that
your
game?
money.
Who plays that game for the story? You can't say that, David, because they were trying to innovate with that. That was a different fight. They had a different take on fighting. They made it really cool. Also, another really good game, which was very odd leveling and battling system, which was Crisis Core Final Fantasy 7 or Final Fantasy 7 Crisis Core.
I've never
however you
played
wanna say it.
Crisis Core, and I don't know anything about it.
It's
so
really,
no comment.
really good. I don't want to ruin the end for you, Gavin, because it's really sad. But
What's it
basically,
about?
it's a prequel to Final Fantasy 7 where you play as Zack, who's to put it bluntly, has a lot to do with Cloud, which you'll find out in the end. Cloud is
He's your
introduced in this
bestie
game.
mate.
No.
I think I actually might know the ending already, because I know a friend told me about the ending
Yeah, well,
already.
we're not going to ruin any endings because it's got a really sad ending, and
Can I say?
Or
can
maybe I
just say
don't.
this?
I don't really know.
Chrono dies.
no. If you don't know Chrono dies, then seriously, just stop.
But what people
I-
don't know is you can revive Chrono. Dun 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 dun.
You don't have-
What?
but
You
what
can actually
other
beat the
people
game
don't
without
know
him.
if you-
Yeah, you
Yeah.
can. I've done that before.
It's kind of
What-
funny.
what
Any
game do you like?
David, we're not talking about Chrono Trigger now. The DS time was over. Even though Chrono Trigger was a freaking amazing game. Anyway, yeah, it's
Well,
got.
technically, you could get it for the PS3.
But we're talking about the PSP here. Anyway,
Oh.
you could with Crisis Core, it's like an active battle system. No, like a bit like Kingdom Hearts, but you couldn't jump, and it was really odd. And you leveled up by a roulette machine. Like when you got
That's
777,
fancy.
then you'd level up.
How difficult was it to get 777?
Well, the more enemies you beat, the more likely it was. So
Uh,
it wasn't as random, but it was still.
Okay, that's good. 'Cause I was gonna say if it's all random based for that one, that would just
You could
I
get
would love
really
to,
fucked up. Like at the end of the game, just be level 10. Like, you know, good times. But really,
Good-
there's not too much to say about the PSP. It was a really good system and all, but you know,
it was just sort of.
it was a really good system. And there's also a really cool version that I kind of want to buy, the Final Fantasy VII 10-year anniversary
Hey,
edition.
Gloom, PSP Go.
I know. But either way, the PSP did sell really well, and Honestly,
surprisingly well.
it's got some good RPGs on there. A lot of them are remakes, but some of them are pretty hard to get hold of, like the Star Ocean series. If you want to get the original two of
Star
Really
them,
Ocean.
good non-RPG on the PSP was actually Dex. I don't know if you guys played Dexter.
I didn't play
Daxter,
Daxter.
I saw
Apparently, it was
that. I
good.
saw this. Like, was it?
I haven't beat the game, but I've played the majority of it. It is pretty good for a platformer on the PSP. It's just
Yeah.
Quick question: was it better than Secret Agent Clank? Because those are both spin-offs of the.
I've never played Secret Agent Clank, so I couldn't tell you.
Because both of those are like meant to be spin-offs of those two characters that, while they weren't really meant to be sidekicks, people seem to
They were
consider
sidekicks, though.
it. No, Clank wasn't a sidekick. Clank
Oh
was
no,
more
I guess.
useful.
Yeah,
Dexter was more of a sidekick. I don't know. I can't really comment about Ratchet and Clank because I never played any of the games out of the series.
Oh, it's really
I
good.
wouldn't consider him a sidekick.
He kind of is, but
No,
No,
because there's a
to an-
line
to
in
an-
which.
to an extent, David.
No, but there is a line in the things where Ratchet goes, "You know, I never considered you a sidekick, right?" And then Clank goes, "To be honest, I always considered you the sidekick."
Clank had some good
Brilliant.
dialogue. It was a really good game. The series has been really good. I haven't played the PS3 ones, but the PS2 ones were good.
Like I
I'm
said, I can't really
probably-
comment. I've never actually played any of the
Yeah.
Ratchet and Clank games.
Anyway,
I wish I did, though.
moving away from the PSP, let's talk about the home consoles. Now, first we have the Nintendo Wii. So,
Oh, I thought we were gonna go into the Xbox. Everyone loves the
Nah.
Xbox.
Oh,
um, go on. Who wants to talk about the Wii?
I'm gonna say this
Roger
right
Free.
now. The Wii, it lacked the library. I mean, it was a good game. It's just a lot of the games on there were just developers' way of getting money. They're like, you only family gamers would love this one, and not really anything where it was like stuff like. I mean, it kind of lacks stuff. It lacked the Star Fox for first off.
Yeah, that
Here
needed
is
to
my
be there.
shovel, here is
It
my
makes so
lab.
sense to
Shovel,
put.
shovel,
It's
shovel.
David.
shovelware.
That's not funny. Anyway, the Wii was begging, like begging for a Star Fox game.
Yeah, it was. The controls probably were good with it. I can imagine.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess it was sort of an on the rail sort of thing, wasn't it? But
Another thing I really just didn't like with the Wii, it was just that I just, like I said, just the library was lacking. I mean, there was good games in the Wii. Don't get me wrong. Just there were just not that many. There was only like
There are a
select
lot of
few.
not so good games, to put it bluntly.
Yeah.
yeah, there wasn't like a large library of games that you could get.
But let's be honest,
But-
some of the best-selling games in there were Just Dance and Zumba Fitness. Bad times.
No.
And really, if you like the Mario and Sonic games, I just kind of look down on you, hand you a copy of Mario Party, and push you along.
I think
To
it's
be
kind
fair,
of
the
sad,
original
though.
Mario parties were good.
Yeah, that was.
No, but no, I'm
It's
saying
kinda sad, though,
I'd
that
rather play
now
Mario
there was-
Party.
Same.
As I was saying, it's kind of sad that they're finally now releasing the good games for the Wii. But now it's gonna
Yeah, I
die.
know. Like Mario Party 9 looks like it's actually going to be a good Mario Party game for the first time in what,
Shame.
900 years. Lost Story, Pandora's Tower, and Xenoblade or Xenoblade.
Yeah, I need to get
Chronicles.
Xenoblade. And
That
then
game has been out in the UK for ages, and thanks to us, you have it, Gavin.
Thank you, UK people.
You're
UK
jolly
people.
welcome. I mean, Skyward Sword,
Nice.
whatever your opinions on that, I'm personally not a fan. That was released near the end.
I don't think
They
it's-
needed a
even though
Zelda
it's
game
the
early
best
on.
Zelda game, but I think it's pretty good though. I don't think it's like the best.
It
They did a
definitely
lot
isn't
of
the best, but it
things-
was
The
it was good.
controls were a bit clunky.
The controls didn't
I don't
really
agree on that,
work.
actually. I think the controls are what made the game for me. Ironically, I never
Really?
thought there never was a time where I swung the sword and it didn't do it right, or there was never a time when
Oh.
I actually the controls weren't they felt wrong. They never did,
Hmm.
and I think the only downside I could say it kind of felt a little too simple, but not in a bad way though. 'Cause
Yeah.
You can only
It was
use
meant
one
to be
item
one of
at
the
once.
easier Zelda games, wasn't it?
Actually, no. It's actually a lot harder than majority. Especially hero mode, where you actually take double damage. It makes a
Damn.
bunch of the bosses a lot harder. Especially, it makes the Gearham fight in the first dungeon just it's just hell. And also effed up the AI too, where it wasn't like before you can you can't really in this game you can't really just slice your sword. It was like you actually it wasn't exactly like a puzzle, but you had to just
Hmm.
actually think you couldn't just randomly slice.
Yeah.
It was like enemies will smart enough to block it, and it wasn't like
Yeah.
I'm gonna be an idiot and just swing the rear wheel like crazy and hope something good comes out of it. If you did that, you die in less than 10 seconds.
Yeah.
I get frustrated because I have to
Another.
wait for the enemy to thing, and then I slash it.
Yeah, it's you gotta have some patience with it, but
There was
there
only
was
like a
some.
couple bosses where you can actually legitly like swing the rear wheel like crazy, but there wasn't that much.
Another game that really needs to come out earlier in the Wii's lifespan was Kirby's Adventure, like or whatever it's called, Kirby's Return to Dreamland. If you're American,
Yeah, I just
that like
why
they
did
needed
release that?
a strong Kirby and Zelda game to go with the Mario games they had. But really, most of the people who wanted Twilight Princess already had it.
Yeah.
Sonic Colors was a nice boost last year, though.
It was a kind
Not
of
last
nice
year, the year
boost.
before. Sonic Colors
I've
was
never played
good.
Sonic Colors before, so I
It's-
wish I did though.
it's
I
actually
hear it's
good.
really good.
It's
So
the
why are we
rebirth of
stepping
Sonic.
around some of the? Why are we stepping around some of the other good reboots like Donkey Kong's Country Returns?
Because we're talking about other games.
I think it's kind of sad though.
But there's
that
one
every
problem with
good
the
game
Wii.
Came out at the end of the Wii's lifespan.
I know.
'Cause
2010 was
so-
when it started to pick up.
Yeah, because it was like when the Wii came out, there was like what Super Mario Galaxy 1. That was. And maybe a
That
couple
was
other games
released a
that-
bit after. That was like in 2007. It
Oh.
came out 2006.
Really?
I'm talking about like like the Wii. It's still.
It
It's
had
just like
Twilight Princess again.
Yeah,
Yay.
yeah. No, I bought Twilight Princess for the Wii. I think it's a lot better than the GameCube version, in my opinion, though.
I liked how they
Everything was
tried to
reversed.
make it different by mirroring it. But to be fair, there's
Hey,
one
that's a
massive
stupid
problem with
idea.
the
I
Wii.
just think that's stupid.
There's one massive
Doesn't
problem with
bother
the
me.
Wii. They released a sequel to Tales of Symphonia on it. That game shouldn't exist.
What's that?
Tales of Symphonia. Dawn of a New, whatever.
No, you must be mistaken. I don't believe that exists.
David. Oh yeah, you're right. It doesn't exist. How did you know? Also, there was some really
I
an unappreciated gem on the Wii was a Trauma Center new. So on, hang on, let me just jack off Atlas a bit more. Trauma Center. All the Trauma Center games made by Atlas. Yeah, any game made by Atlas is good though. Not that I'm a fanboy or
Yeah,
anything.
pretty-
Historio.
Hey, hey,
Should talk
Bloom.
within the DS. Damn it.
Rock of Ages.
Yeah, obviously best game ever made.
I know.
I think another. Well, now I don't think it's unappreciated as it was before, but something that was. Oh, I kind of was on the PS2 first, but
Go on.
it was unappreciated until a certain person did a let's play of it. But was Okami.
Until a
Okami,
certain
but
date,
Okami was a game that needed to be on the Wii. I mean, look
Yeah,
at Okami
that's
and look
true.
at the Wii. That game could not have been better for any other system. It's the
Not just for
perfect
the
game for
controls
the
though, but for the load times. You play the PS2 version, the
Wii.
load.
God, I've
It's
seen
just like it
it.
takes 3 hours to load. It's just like you just sit there and it's like, here, want to play a mini game while you wait? Nah, I'd rather actually play the games than waiting for it to load.
But-
eh.
In all seriousness, like, I'm not the biggest fan of Okami, but I appreciate what it was
Neither
doing.
am I.
I really did.
It was a fairly good game, but I found that sometimes I'd be drawing something and then, oh my god, here come some flowers when I was going for something completely different.
Yeah, but
And other times, the characters just weren't that compelling to me.
it was still
Really?
really cool. It was a fun game.
I mean, I can admit
Yeah.
some of the characters weren't as compelling, and they really did fix a lot of that stuff, like the drawing mechanics and the character development of Kami Den.
Yeah.
It's just, I know it's kind of going back to DS, but I kind of think it's sad that Okami Den just took out all the exploration. It was just like, here's an area. It's just like Final Fantasy 13 all over again.
Oh god.
Except without the narrow hallway.
Hey, you tried to go into another area. I'm sorry. Did you want to go here? Well, here's a giant
Okay.
wall.
Here's something I really want to talk about that got no love. Ivy the Kiwi on the Wii. That
I've actually
game
never heard of it.
was
Aw.
no one gave that game love, but that game is awesome. Basically, it's kind of similar to Kirby's Canvas Curse, but it just got better level design and it's harder. It's
I prefer Canvas. Well, I wouldn't know, but I played Canvas because it was a fun game.
you honestly preferred it, David. Honestly,
Ah,
Ivy the Kiwi got no love, but it's really good game. You could probably
Another
find
game
it
that
cheap.
didn't get as much love is Epic Yarn, ironically. Which,
Yeah, but Epic Yarn annoyed me because it was like,
I
oh,
only
you
tried
want to
one
die?
Epic. Too easy.
Well,
yeah,
yeah.
this game is really easy. I will admit that. It's just like
You couldn't
I just love
even
that, you
die.
just put the controller down, make a sandwich, and the game would probably come back. You come back to it, the game would beat itself.
Yeah.
That's probably
Oh,
how
I'm
easy
sorry.
it is.
No. If we're talking about games that'll beat itself, got Barney's game rape
Well,
anybody?
yeah, but that's for the Genesis I've read. Also, another good game on the Wii was Silent Hill Shattered Memories. I really enjoyed that game.
I've actually never played it.
I wonder how many Tetris games there are on the Wii. Like, I really do.
Probably a ton.
Beep 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 beep. At least 10. Beep beep beep. Beep beep.
What? I'm using the Wii mouse and balance board.
All right. Oh God, no one wants to talk
Hey
about that
everyone,
anymore.
do you know what? You know what we should let's play after we're done with this?
What?
We
Wii Fit?
Oh,
David,
God.
you just get obese.
Oh, you.
Wii Fit was just a gimmick. That's all it was. It was a gimmick.
It was. You know what's also a pretty good game? Sin and Punishment, 2, Successor of the Skies.
I've only played Sin Punishment 1, but I know Sin Punishment 2 looks really good. Though.
Yeah, it's pretty fun.
Was there a Bomberman game on that? Because that would have worked quite well. If you ask
Not I
me.
can remember. And honestly, I kind of like Mario Kart Wii. Although it has some problems, I still enjoy it.
I don't think there really is any problems. The only problem I had with the game that it broke when somebody stepped on it, which that's another story for another day. But I think it was pretty good though. I just
Nice.
didn't like how when you played with the Wii remote, there was like no way to drift unless you did it automatic, which
Yeah.
didn't give you the auto boost, which annoyed me a lot because then it's like, what's the point?
I never played with the Wii Remote personally, though. I just didn't.
Yeah. Something that I need to mention, like, a lot of the good games on there were, like, reboots of GameCube games that didn't get the appreciation but work very well with
Such
the Wii's control.
as
Donkey Kong, Jungle Beat, that works very well with the
yeah,
Wii's control.
that does.
Both Pikmin games,
Yeah,
you could say the Metroid games, Metroid Prime Trilogy.
yeah, that works a lot better on the Wii. But you know, another good franchise was No More Heroes. Just putting that out there.
Yeah,
yeah,
too bad No More Heroes 2 went onto the PS3. I don't know why. But...
Yeah, it's just.
It's still on it's on the Wii.
It's st-
Suda51 just. Well, Suda51.
He was just doing some crack, and he was like, "Put on the PS, I don't give a shit."
Yeah, he was probably drunk that day. Regrets it ever since.
not that day. He's high every day.
Exactly. He's Suda 51. God,
Yep.
I'm.
Addict of game design.
He is. Apparently, Red Steel 2 was supposed to be good, but I never played that. Much like I didn't play Monster Hunter Tri, which is supposed to be
I
good.
heard Red Steel 1 was horrible.
Monster Hunter
though.
Tri, good game.
There's one game I must say on the Wii that pissed me off more than any other. Super Mario All Stars. That
You
game,
know what they could have-
that game, I bought that thinking Nintendo never said anything about it. It's like we're releasing all the Mario games on the Wii. I'm like, oh my god, whole new Super Mario Bros. Wii graphics. No,
No.
just a port of
what
the
I was-
fucking Super Nintendo version. Why did you do that, Nintendo? Why?
Because we want your money.
It added Final Fantasy characters to it, except the game sucks, so...
No. Nintendo's not as money hungry as a little company I know called Square.
Oh, God, don't remind me.
Can we just
Hey,
leave
hey
Square
Gavin,
alone?
how's the ending of 13-2 doing for you?
Don't remind
I've just realised we're gonna have to split this video into parts because we're 40 minutes in and we're like halfway there.
Right. Anyway, something we've neglected up until this point was actually one of the Wii's better points. Galaxy. I don't know. Maybe I drifted off when you talked about it. But
No,
I
we
don't
only
think we talked
mentioned
about
it.
Galaxy. We only mentioned it, yeah. Galaxy was really good, and then Galaxy 2 was better. Which is...
Yeah, everyone
it's
hates
like-
on Galaxy 2 for literally no good reason. Galaxy 2 was better in every way.
Yeah,
Yeah, but
Galaxy 1 was okay. Like, Galaxy 1 wasn't bad. Galaxy 2 was just better.
Yeah,
I prefer the hub world in Galaxy 1 just because of the
Yeah,
music.
me too.
Thinking
Yeah.
That is just so much.
I kind of like the it kind of annoyed me how in Galaxy 2 they completely ignored the flying thing from Galaxy 1 though.
Yeah, that kind of
Yeah,
pissed me
what
off.
exactly are you gonna do on Mario's head? I can fly.
I really love the
But
cloud
they
suit
could
though.
put
That was
that
my favorite
Flying
suit.
ability and actually put that in some level and actually make that useful now, but they didn't
Nope.
think about that either. No.
Hey guys,
I
I'm the
do
pet-
honestly
I'm
think
the-
that the cloud suit was really awesome. Like, I
Yeah,
just
I
loved
Oh
it.
yeah, I managed to like loop Mario's head using that.
Nice.
Loop it. I know.
You're cool. But honestly,
I
Nintendo,
know.
any first-party game on the Wii is totally recommended.
Yeah, just
Yeah,
just get. But, oh, okay, for someone who is very doesn't have a lot of money, but also wants to play some very good games, the Wii is the console to get.
Oh
Just
yeah.
because there aren't a large library of good games to get, which maybe sound bad, but it's also a cheap console. The games are pretty cheap. You can probably get quite a lot of good ones for about 30 quid or even cheaper
that's true.
pre-owned.
I remember buying PS3 games like, holy shit, this costs so much money. Well, the Wii's not that much.
Money.
But I must say,
Anyway,
we're wrapping up the Wii and also wrapping up the first part of this video. So we'll see you guys next time when we talk about the 360, the PS3,
Oh
the
god, the
3DS,
360, the PS3.
the 3DS, and the OnLive system. So see you guys then.